in India, there's a big chatter about what's happening at the Gyanvapi Mosque, where there are two different kinds of contestations. One by the Hindu petitioners who are saying that this was originally a temple which was razed by Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, and the other led by Asuddin Owaisi and many others who feel that because of the existence of the places of worship Act 1991, the status of the Gyanvapi mosques should stay as it is. I'm very curious to know, as somebody who looks closely at society, how you think this very contentious issue should be looked at and addressed.
See, I've been on the road, particularly on a two-wheeler, and I must tell you, till now, I've covered 25 nations, 26 nations now. 26 nations and 63 days on the motorcycle, and I have done the 467 events along the way. So it's been a breathless schedule. I really completely unaware of what's happening in the Indian news. I think I shouldn't make a comment without knowing the full nature of what is happening there.
But your broad sense of this idea that there were multiple temples which were raised by the Mughals, and now from Hindu Samaj this demand that, you know, what's happened, for example, at Kashi, what's happened at Mathura, Hindus should have the right to pray over there. Philosophically, how do you see this?
See, thousands of temples were razed to ground during invasions. Well, we couldn't protect them then. Now, talking about all those thousands of temples doesn't make sense, because you cannot rewrite history in that sense. But at the same time, very iconic places. I think the communities should sit down together and work this out. This is not for the benefit of the nation, that everything we fight, whatever you say I will oppose, whatever I say you will oppose. This is not the way forward. Some very iconic places, I think for once we should sit down and say, okay, these 2-3 sites, let's settle this. The rest of it, don't raise it again. I think we should do that instead of going one at a time and keeping the controversy on, unnecessary enmity between communities. This is not necessary. I feel as a civilized society, for once we should sit down and say, okay, what are the issues? Can we settle it or not? We should sit down and settle it. There must be some give and take in this. About this particular thing, I am not conversant with the news, so I don't want to make a comment on that. But I feel that will be a way forward for both the communities, above all for the nation. It's important. I think we should stop thinking in terms of Hindu community and Muslim community. Right now, India is at a juncture where if we do the right things, we could be a significant nation in the world in terms of economy, in terms of political power, in every way. Nation could become a very significant force in the world. I don't think we should squander this, going on making everything into a big dispute. I know local politics, people will try to play for their advantage. I would beseech people and the news agencies and media houses not to make this controversial. Just make sure that we go towards a solution once for all, rather than raking it up every few years.